Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to Fighters Rep episode 31 with yours truly, the Fighters Rep Fez, joined once again every week by none other than Ignorant Behavior. How are you, young man?
Good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
You got the salt and pepper. I'm a little bit more salt than you right now.
This is some, without the dye, I'm like you. Time to die again.
Yeah. Well, hey, we earned it, bro. We earned it. And we earn it every day in this painful life of working a full-time job while trying to entertain the masses. But Gary, man, today we're going to be talking about Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia because that's going down on Saturday. Believe it or not, that fight is already upon us. And then, of course, we're not really an MMA geared channel, but we are the Fighters Rep channel, so we're going to talk about fights. And those fights, I gotta say, Gary, UFC 300 was a little bit crazy, and I want to start with that because it was a milestone for the UFC, their 300th event, Gary, and that shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. I already mentioned a couple fights that stood out for me yesterday in a quick video I made. And I'll reiterate, but, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on UFC 300 and what fights or what moments stuck out in your head.
I mean, I thought it was awesome. I didn't get to see all of the card, but of course, just like everybody else, the same fights, the same fights that stuck out for everybody. The Pereira fight, even though it was quick, it was 1 round, and you also got Max Holloway against Gaethje. Yeah. That one was exciting. It didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go, but it was exciting. And then the Zay fight was good too. Those are the ones but mostly the Gaethje and Holloway and the Pereira fight.
Did you watch the Prochazka fight? Prochazka versus Rakic. It was like the main on the prelims, and
I didn't see it.
Prochazka is the guy that Pereira beat to get the title, basically.
No, I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to catch that one.
That was
that was good. I gotta go back and see if I can find it.
You gotta watch that. Gary, I don't know if you've seen Prochazka fight. He's the one with like the antenna. He's kind of got the antenna and the big beard.
I've seen him fight before.
Yeah, man, not keeping his hands up at all, Gary. Changing levels, doing weird stuff, punching at the guy's arms, just trying to confuse you the whole time, bro. It's kind of he's almost like an and one basketball player going out onto a basketball court. You know what I mean? He's doing weird stuff. He's throwing you off, but man, he's got some serious power. Like I felt like Rakic was more traditional. Landing his shots looked even a little bit faster than Prochazka, if I'm being honest. Even though Prochazka is pretty athletic, he's like up and down, he jumps.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rakic was a little bit faster than him. But he couldn't wrap his head around this weird stuff coming at him from all these different angles. And
now you're gonna make me go watch it after this.
You gotta watch it. I thought he definitely lost the first round, but in the second round, I think he ended it in the second round. He came back, and you could tell every time he landed a shot, Gary, it really rocked Rakic. I mean, Prochazka has a lot of power. He said afterwards he wants to fight the winner, and I definitely think he deserves it. And it's funny because it's almost like he was insulted, and Joe Rogan asked him about this because the guy said, "You're not a samurai, bro." It's like, it's 2024. You're not a samurai, but he like lives by that code so hard. He was like a little bit insulted by it. He clarified it after the fight. He said, "Look, I'm not a samurai, but you have to be inspired by something. You have to aspire to be something." And so, that's kind of what I do. So
he goes into that mode, basically. That's his. You know what that reminds me of is like in football, Brian Dawkins. You know Brian Dawkins, right?
Yeah.
The safety for the Philadelphia Eagles and everything. He used to go into they used to call him Weapon X, Wolverine. And they used to always say he triggers this thing, and he literally plays that part when he goes into the football game until this like he thinks he's Weapon X or whatever, Wolverine or whatever.
That's funny. And maybe also too, kind of like Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, you know, who apparently like turns into the Bronze Bomber when
Yeah.
he's fighting, you know. And another interesting about that, you know, I didn't know if you saw Matchroom and Queensbury announced their 5-on-5, and
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder's fighting Zhang, so that's going to be interesting as well. But back to UFC 300, I agree with you on the other fights. What did you think was, you know, me and you kind of talked about this on the phone briefly. What was the crazier moment? You know, Holloway starching Justin Gaethje in the last closing second with the buzzer beater, or, you know, or freaking this guy Pereira saying, no, don't worry about me. I got hit in the nuts. Don't worry about me. And bam, landed a big left hook, uppercut, hybrid, whatever it was, and then finishing the fight.
Yeah. He's like, don't worry about me. Worry about him. Worry about him.
It's like, look.
You want to help somebody? Him.
Oh, yeah. Him. that guy. Yeah. That's messed up, man.
I mean, it was such of a gangster moment, man, to be like, get kicked in the balls and be like, whoa, no, I got him. Don't worry.
And he didn't even, you know, and he didn't even look at Herb Dean. He didn't even look. He just said he saw him coming out the corner of his eye. He just went like this.
No.
Back away. Damn, I was like, oh.
And the thing is, he kicked him there. Then he patted the show like, oh, he kicked me here. Herb Dean comes over. He's like, no. Don't worry, I'll give him a spanking this time. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to see what to equate that to. Like, it's like almost like movie-ish. Like, that's like something you see in a movie. That they're like, oh, it's 5 of you guys. Don't worry, I got this. Kind of like that. But then, like, the Max Holloway thing is crazy. You know, he does that in some of his fights. You know, at the end, let's go at it and stuff. But that never happened. At least I can't remember that ever happening.
Against a guy like Gaethje, with Holloway coming up in weight, having not fought in a while, a lot of people think he's going to lose that fight. He's no longer the same fighter, which I think is crazy. You know how fickle we are as fans, but yeah, that was wild, bro. Wild.
I thought Max was still a good fighter. I just thought that Gaethje was gonna kind of get him into a brawl, kind of more than, and that didn't happen. He schooled him. He schooled him, outboxed him.
You know, in my opinion, you know what happened in that fight, Gary? I felt like that spinning back kick that he landed at the end of the first round. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I seen it. Broke his
nose. I mean, what are the chances, right, of throwing that and landing it and destroying the guy's nose? And you could tell he was in a lot of pain, bro. And you can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And that happens in the first round. And I said to myself, you know, me personally, I would have liked for them to stop a fight like that, because I just think that's severe damage. I mean, that nose was destroyed, Gary. That nose was destroyed. And he's got so much balls, though, to keep fighting like that, man.
Didn't they say?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think you get that same result if that spinning back kick doesn't land. Like, I don't think he gets knocked out. Yeah, I don't think he gets knocked out at the end. Like, I just think that caused so much damage, and all the hits he took on that already broken nose probably caused so much damage that, like, it was more feasible for that knockout to happen in the closing seconds, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that happens. I don't think anything in that fight changes, because in the first round, before he got kicked in the nose, Max was still doing the same thing that he did the rest of the fight to him. He was outboxing him, turning him, you know, keeping him at distance. You know, Gaethje couldn't, when Gaethje came at him, he wasn't there anymore. You know what I mean? His defense was.
Yeah, but look, Gaethje did drop him at one point in the fight. He did drop him. Here's
what round was that? I'm trying to remember. What round was that?
He did drop him in one round. He clipped him on the temple and dropped him.
Oh yeah, I think it was like the later round.
Yeah, and Holloway, to his credit, got right back up. But the reason I'm saying what I'm saying as well is, I think once his nose was busted up like that, I think he was way more hesitant to attack, right? And I think the normal Justin Gaethje, I mean, I don't know. I don't. The normal Justin Gaethje has no hesitation, in my opinion. He's just a crazy person. So even though he was still brave, still kind of coming forward, I felt like he was a lot more careful because his shit was busted open, dude.
I mean, I mean, this is my thing. I've seen this happen a lot when fighters are just outclassing somebody with the striking. Even a guy who's always no hesitating and everything going at it, they start to hesitate and they start to get frustrated because they can't get the guy, and they start seeing that every time I come in and try to do this, I'm getting hit with this shot, hit with that shot. So that's going to make you start pausing and saying, dang, how can I get to this guy? I can't really get to him like that. And I just think that Mac's feet were just too good for him, too fast. Hand speed, his boxing ability, it's just like Sean O'Malley with his boxing ability. They can run circles around people a lot of times. If you can't catch up, if you're not quick enough to catch up to them and make them actually have to stand there and fight or whatever, I think the same thing happens again. And it was just back to the gangster moment when it's like he pointed twice. They pointed, they came, they traded. He's like, nah, back here. Let's go back here. And then it's like a last minute 3-pointer to win the game. Wow. And it's just so gangster because he didn't need to do it. It's like, I don't need to do this, but I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. And it's for the bad motherfucker award.
He earned that one, dude. He earned that one. And then I also think about all the leg kicks Gaethje landed on him. I mean, did you see Max Holloway's calf?
Yeah.
Bro, and he was still moving around on it like
I mean,
wasn't that big of a deal, bro. That's not easy, man. That is not.
I've seen him get his leg effed up before because of his stance is more of like with that boxing stance almost, and it's easy to get that front leg when you stand like that. And I seen him get beat up by the leg kicks before too. I mean, he's probably used to it. I mean, like you say, I know you do kickboxing. You like these guys train their legs and do all types of things to
but I just felt like that was one thing I noticed in the fight too. I don't know if you noticed that because it really stuck out to me because Holloway was coming up in a weight, and I felt like you're supposed to be the smaller guy, but I felt like his legs were way bigger than Gaethje's. They just looked stronger and bigger. No, I felt like Holloway's legs.
Yeah, I'm saying you felt like Holloway legs is bigger than Gaethje. I did,
bro. I did.
I mean,
I felt like
I had to look at it again.
I felt like he had big, strong legs compared to Gaethje's, and not that it really mattered as far as throwing kicks because I feel like Gaethje's a better low kicker, but I felt like for absorbing punishment, that probably was beneficial because if you got chicken legs like me or John Jones or you, it's not gonna be a short night with chicken legs,
I mean, honestly, he didn't look like the smaller guy either.
Yeah,
because he's naturally tall. He didn't look like the smaller guy, and with the frame, it didn't look like it looked like he belonged in that weight class to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So it didn't look like, even though like you say, it's coming up, it didn't look like it. And I think didn't somebody say on the broadcast? I don't know how he stated the weight he was at.
Well, I know they said that the last time he came up, he didn't look as sturdy as he looked this time he came up. They said he probably took more time and worked on maybe getting muscle on his body and really filling out. And as you get older, you know how it is. You start filling out. That's the nice term for becoming a fat ass is you're filling out.
Hey, look, you already know in high school, I probably left high school like 160.
I know now your left leg is 160, bro.
I got all the way up to 215. Yeah. But I mean, I just it goes back to your point that we said the last time we were on when you were like, guys, work on your boxing. Like it really matters. And Gaethje's not a bad, he's not bad with his hands. He's pretty good with his hands, but he's not like as good as as good as Holloway with his hands and technique.
Let me put this on the record, though. You know, this is where me and you differ here. I think the broken nose at the beginning, I think it really negated his activity. He was not as active as he normally is. I think if he would have been more active and more courageous, he would have won that fight, but he just couldn't be because he was super courageous. Dude, could you imagine that happening to your nose and you still having a fight for 4 rounds after that with your nose like that?
Well, I mean, it happened.
Gary, imagine the pain. Someone smashed your nose. The bones in your nose are destroyed, right? All of this is probably killing you from pain. You saw him keep, kind of patting at his nose. And the guy's still hitting you. The guy's still hitting you. I just don't think he was as willing to trade and be the normal Justin Gaethje as he.
I mean, of course, it's going to make you a little hesitant, but they're fighters, and when like I was just gonna say, Tim Tszyu and in a Tim Tszyu fight, Tim Tszyu and
with Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah, Fundora. Tim Tszyu and Fundora. Didn't they say Fundora broke his nose?
Yeah.
I think they said he broke his. He got his nose broken.
I think
because he was bleeding. Remember, he was bleeding from the nose. They said he got his nose broken. So I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened. You got Muhammad Ali got a jaw broken, and you still got to get hit in the jaw.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, that's what they do. That's why you got to be kind of psycho a little bit. I know football players that play with broken nose and stuff, broken fingers.
It's true. It's true. It's true. But I do think you're slightly compromised. When that happens.
No, for sure. For sure. Anytime anything breaks, you're compromised a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened there. But which moment to you was the bigger holy shit moment, as Dana White would call it? Because he said, I'm in the business of holy shit moments. I sell holy shit moments. And those were two of the biggest. Which one for you was, if you had to give one of the guys, the award? That's a tough one, man.
Oh man. Cause see, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, I'm not gonna be long-winded with it. I would give it to Max just because it was just so like, and then it was you didn't expect it. There was only 10 seconds left. You like, I literally got up.
And he didn't have to do that. He was winning the fight.
It was just it was oh shit, last second. He knocked him out 1 second.
Yeah.
Then when you go to, I would give it to him just off of that period, because I seen people get knocked out how Pierre did. I seen people get knocked out like that. But it was the hold on moment, just like hold on. And a second later knock out a dude that makes it just so like, this motherfucker said, no, hold on. So
oh my God. And it was the pinky knuckle, Gary. It was the pinky knuckle. Gary, how hard is this fucking guy punching that he does that with a pinky knuckle, bro?
I think I got to go ahead and give it to Pierre, because I've never seen nobody do that. No, stop. And then knock the guy out. And then and it was like,
go ahead.
Damn, I keep wanting to go back to. Damn, was it Holloway? I don't know who you got. I can't.
I was thinking at first Holloway, man, but you get me all hyped up and crazy, and with your shit, you know how you are, and now I'm thinking like it's probably Pereira, bro, because that's some gangster shit, dude. To not even look at the referee and be like, get the fuck out of here, and then just take someone out like that. And I'm a little upset because I wanted Hill to win. I'm going for the American guy. That's just the way I am. I like Jamal Hill. I want Jamal Hill to win. I like Pereira a lot, but I wanted Jamal Hill to win. Just because he also didn't really lose his title in the ring. You know what I mean? I think they took it away from him for injury or whatever it was, the Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted Jamal Hill to win. But man, and he was talking a lot of shit, bro. He was talking a
Yeah, I
lot
know.
of
Yep.
shit, bro. And I think the dude normally can back it up, man. But man, he kind of ran into the wrong guy in this episode. So
What'd you think about what'd you think about Izzy's face when he like God damn this fucker?
because Izzy apparently picked Jamal Hill to win.
Uh-huh.
And I think what Izzy was, hoping for was Alex to lose because he probably doesn't want to deal with that again. But you saw him and he was like, damn. And then did you see Usman sitting next to him like this?
I didn't see Usman's face. I seen him. I seen
Usman was sitting right next to Izzy watching the replay on the big screen like this.
Yeah.
It was so funny to me, dude. It was funny to me.
All right. So we're both going with Pierre as the badass moment over Max.
Well, look, Gary, I know we're from Miami, but it's not Pierre. All right, he's not Haitian. It's Pereira, Gary. Damn it, Gary.
Hey, listen.
There's enough Brazilians in Miami now.
You don't want to know all the. Hey, you know all the language, okay? All the language. You know English, you know Spanish, you know Arabic, all that shit. I'm not that, okay? I'm from Miami, Florida, but I'm from Richmond Heights, okay, baby? I don't know all these.
Hey, because I look Spanish, right, Gary? Oh my God. Oh my goodness! But yeah, I agree with you. I best. I like the best. Around out here, but I agree with you, man. I gotta say it's Pereira, man. That was some gangster shit, bro. In the main event too, with defending your belt and just knocking the guy out with a pinky after telling Herb Dean to move over when the guy's been talking all that shit.
I think that's gonna be a meme. Gonna be a meme.
Oh, and then doing this thing, and then
a meme.
and then he says, after winning the middleweight title, winning the light heavyweight title, he says in the post fight, "I want to fight at the next UFC, basically, and I want to fight heavyweight." Bro, do you believe this guy?
I mean,
heavyweight.
He could probably do it.
Probably.
I mean, against the right opponent. Against the right opponent.
No? If you're Dana White, you'll tell him no? What would you tell him?
Hell no, because right now he's a draw. I mean, since he came into the UFC, he's been knocking motherfuckers out, and he knocked Izzy out again, and then Izzy came back and knocked him out. But other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't think nobody. Izzy lost fights.
And he's only.
Yeah, that's only Izzy.
He's only beaten champions. He knocked out Izzy. He knocked out Sean Strickland, former champion. He knocked out
which is crazy because Strickland's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he is. He knocked out another guy. I'm blanking on him, but he's just been knocking out. Oh, Prohaska. That's how he won the title. He knocked out Prohaska. So for me, man, you wouldn't want him to fight heavyweight if you're Dana?
No, I would. He's a draw. I mean, he's a killer.
Me too, man. I'll tell him, hey, here's the keys to the house, bro. Do whatever the hell you want to do. This shit is yours, big dog.
Especially after that moment, I mean, he's already a star because he's just knocking out people left and right.
Yeah.
And people love knockouts. But then you go and have that moment. No. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a meme. People are gonna make that a meme.
It's already a meme. It's all over the internet. It's already a meme. Everybody is reposting the picture of him like this and Jamal Hill like lying down on the ground looking up at him. Have you seen it? It's everywhere already.
No, I'm just saying when you know how when you're chatting on like Facebook or with a friend and this thing became a meme, like and everything like this. Every time you say something, it's gonna be
the I told you. It's gonna be the new I told you so meme.
Yeah. Or even the meme of him stopping Herb Dean.
Yeah. And everybody's saying, "Let me cook. Let him cook. Let him cook." That's what everybody's saying.
It's gonna be a meme like when it's time to when the bill collector comes. Like, it's gonna be all types of things.
It's gonna be hold my beer, hold my beer. Oh my god, no, that was just absolutely wild, man.
When she been texting you all day at work.
Yeah.
She been texting you all day at work, and you like, I got
the side piece. That's the side piece. Oh,
you know what I mean? It's just, man. I think he won it just because of that.
Yeah. Well, UFC lives up to the hype. UFC 300. I thought that was a pretty badass card. Anything else stuck out to you there? I mean, that maybe we didn't mention, or is that pretty much it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me on that.
Watch the Prochazka fight. You do have to watch the Prochazka.
I'm gonna go back and watch it after we hang up.
It was fun. So before we go on to the next topic, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, share this video, and join the channel. That's how you help us build. It's just $9.99 a month. Don't forget, that's the only way, besides buying tickets at Fightersrep.com, to watch Fighters Rep 23 and 24, June 1st from Pompano Beach, Florida, June 8th from the beautiful Commerce Casino in Los Angeles, California. Don't miss it. The best striking show on earth. It's going down June 1st and June 8th. And Ignorant Behavior is going to be at the Florida one. So if you want to meet him in person, that's the only way. Keep your girlfriends at the house. Keep your ladies at the house. But if you want to meet him, that's how you do it. Next up, man, Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Listen, I think we both have reached a consensus about this, but it is upon us, and it's happening on Saturday. And I saw online, Gary, that Devin Haney is a minus 750 favorite last time I checked on DraftKings, which is it's pretty heavy favorite, man. I'm sure he's a heavier favorite in some places. He's up to a minus 1,000.
Oh shit!
In some places, yeah, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah, the closer we're getting to it, I don't know, man. I mean, have you seen anything that makes you think that Garcia's got a better chance than what the public thinks or what we think? I mean, what are you thinking about this fight right now, Gary? How are you feeling about it? Have you seen anything to make you change your mind or anything like that?
I mean, first of all, those are crazy odds for supposed to be a mega fight between. Yeah. Like, damn, I didn't even know that. But I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I know Ryan's trying to promote the fight and everything, but his antics, his crazy behavior, all that stuff, like doing all that, it kind of annoys me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of annoyed with it. Like, I get promote the fight, but all this, Jesus talk and this talking about Errol Spence and talking proposing to a girl and all these crazy things that he does, like releasing the sparring videos, fine, okay, that's what you want to do to sell a fight of you and Devin Haney when y'all sparred back in the day, cool. But I don't know, I don't think he focused on enough on the fight. Maybe he is, and but it just don't seem like he's focused. It seems like he's all over the place. He wants to be. He's back to like wanting to be a star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then just focusing on the craft. Like he said, he got away from it at one point. It feels like he's getting away from it again. He's more like a reality TV guy now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Gary, this shit, I'm on the website right now. It's because it's happening at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, the shittiest seats up in the fucking nosebleeds where you need like an oxygen mask is $174.75 for the shittiest seats for this fight, Gary.
And that's what I'm saying. To have odds like that for this fight and to be the ticket sales to be that's a consensus that most of the public don't think is going to be much of a fight.
Yeah.
And you ain't coming to see Devin Haney knock out nobody.
It's incredible. It's incredible how expensive some of these seats are, man. It's amazing.
How are ticket sales doing for that fight? You know, because I think I read something that it wasn't doing that good.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing okay. I mean, but I also read online that they're struggling a little bit to put butts in seats. But for me as a promoter, I mean, it doesn't go down until April 20th,
Uh-huh.
and it's still April 15th. For me as a promoter, from my experience, Gary, people, which I don't think is a good idea, but typically buy their tickets in the last 2 or 3 days. Uh, that's where like half the tickets get sold sometimes. So, it's really hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, it does look like there's quite a bit of seating left. And, I would have expected it to be a little bit more crowded.
Yeah.
But again, you never know. But it looks like there's quite a few tickets left. Probably because it's so damn expensive, Gary.
Yeah.
Bro, top quarter section is 174.75, but a regular top section that's not lodged all the way over to the corner is $243 plus. So it's like, damn, dude, like horrible seats. And I'm looking at some of the seats like closer. I mean, there's some seats as much as it's looking like something like $8,000, over
Damn.
$8,000 for the front row. Yeah, over $8,000 in one section for front row seats. So that's pretty wild, man. I mean, shit, I hope one day I can charge that much for Fightersrep. That is nuts, dude.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah,
I just because I heard they were having a little trouble with tickets. I mean, maybe like you said, maybe it's gonna when we get closer, it's probably gonna fill up more. But I just think like I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed with Ryan, and normally I'm not annoyed with him. I'm for real. I'm not annoyed with him. I know what he's doing. He's doing it, and I think it's smart what he does
yeah.
online to a certain extent. But this is just a little bit too wacky for me.
What?
It's
What's
just going.
bothering you? What is it that's pushing you over the edge for this one?
Yes, he's talking about all like people kidnapping him seeing little kids being raped and and oh he's gonna buy people fake boobs and just
Yeah.
all this wacky shit, this lame shit to me.
That might be,
That
bro. That might be CTE talking, bro.
But see, this is what I'm saying. People were saying, is he okay mentally? To where people
Yeah,
were questioning his mental health. Is he going crazy? Is something
yeah,
going on? Where his brother's coming out saying, I don't approve of what my brother does. My brother does his life. And it's just like, dude, that's too much. Like, talk if you want to sell a fight, like how Mike Tyson is with Jake Paul, where he's posting videos of him punching the bag and saying, I can't wait till this is Jake.
yeah,
Mike Tyson selling the fight, you know what I mean, and things like that. Or Jake even does little wacky stuff to sell fights. But this right here is kind of like, it seems like every day is something. He's talking a
yeah.
lot. He's all over the place. He's saying this. He's just talking about Errol Spence and what's the trainer? Can't think of his name.
Yeah. Derek
He just
James. Derek James.
Derek James talking about how much Errol Spence was paying him, getting in there, telling their business and everything.
Yeah.
Like I say, this dude tells everything. He leaks sparring footage, tells everybody's business. It's like, I don't know, it's getting kind of clownish to me a little bit, man.
He's a social media diva, is what he is. He's like
So
the
I mean,
TMZ. He's boxing's TMZ is what he's kind of turning into, But I guess he's figuring that's what's making him so much money,
but once he keeps it, ask Adrian Broner, you keep losing.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
those antics, you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I was a big fan of Adrian Broner when he first was coming up, and I think you weren't. I know my brother was. He's like, nah, that's. I was like, he's just selling the fight.
I thought he was being Mayweather, but over the top. Like he was
Yeah.
he was like, what do they call it? Like the Wish version of. If you bought Mayweather on Wish, that's what he was to me. I just wasn't really feeling him, and then he got beat up, and then he kind of like was never the same after the Maidana fight.
Yeah.
I could
And
tell.
then he just kept like, if you keep getting in fights, you got a Sean Porter, you got beat easily. You got with Mikey Garcia beat easily. You get every time you went with these guys and you start losing, you lose some of that luster. Now, if you just focus on your craft, I mean, don't get me wrong, sell a fight, be Ryan Garcia, still entertain your fans, but I mean, sometimes you get so much caught up in just trying to entertain and try to be a celebrity or something like this and be this. You're not focusing fully on what you should be.
I think the loss to Tank definitely, it hurts a little bit. But you look at the circumstances of that, he kind of wasn't allowed to rehydrate as much as he wanted to. But it's still a loss is a loss, He came back and won, but didn't look that good in that last fight. And now he's gonna go in there with Haney, and you mentioned you don't want to lose too much. I couldn't agree with you more, Gary. If he loses this fight to Haney, that's 2 out of his last 3 fights that he lost against guys that are really serious about this sport. And he kind of starts to become that gatekeeper. You know what I mean? He kind of starts to kind of rule himself out of the upper echelon of fighters. And that's what worried me, right? I actually made a video about this on the channel. That's what worries me about what he's doing. I mean, it's good. So this is what I want to ask you about. So we want our fighters to fight everybody, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also have to take the right fights at the right time.
At the right time, yeah.
Yeah. And I just think right now the momentum for him versus Haney is just looking like he's the Titanic slowly drifting towards an iceberg right now, bro.
I mean, well, see, to me, I think the right fight, and I think people I think Mayweather, maybe De La Hoya them tried to tell him, because I know he was taking some advice from Mayweather at one point.
Yeah.
He was trying to tell him Rolly was the guy to fight, which I do think that's a fight that you have better odds of winning. As you see, Pitbull Cruz just beat Rolly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if you can catch Rolly with your left hook, you're faster. Neither one of y'all are the greatest sound boxers. You know what I mean? But you stand a chance of winning that fight. And then if you win that fight, this Devin Haney fight becomes even more interesting. If you fight it next afterwards, or even if you fight somebody else, Tio or somebody, you know what I mean? It becomes more interesting.
That Tio one is a problem too for me.
I'm not saying he wins it.
Yeah. But I agree. I think someone like a Rolly, someone in that Rolly level would have been, a better idea.
That would have been. He tried to fight Rolly, but they couldn't get the deal done, and Rolly pulled out. That was a better fight for him. But
it's almost like is he cashing out early? Is he trying to be too brave? Does he just not have great management? I mean,
I'm not gonna blame him on his management because he does what he wants to do. He does. They already said even with trainers, he doesn't always listen.
For me, it's not a good fight. I think Devin Haney. I mean, we could be wrong. Maybe he puts up a great fight and wins. He does have a chance to win. It's not like he has no.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very small chance. That's a small chance.
What percentage you give it? What percentage you give it?
At this point?
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, bro. I'll say like 5 to 10%. I'll say like 10% being.
Damn, George.
Yeah, no, I just don't see it.
You went way lower than me, bro.
I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Where do you got it?
I got it about. I want to say about.
Mind what Devin Haney looked like against Regis Prograis in his last.
Yeah,
fight.
But he's not Regis either, though. He's not Regis either. He's a lot. Ryan Garcia.
That's an even fight for me. Regis, I think maybe Regis beats up Ryan Garcia.
I'm just saying when you look at a Regis, he's shorter, a lot shorter reach than Devin Haney. He had to get to Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia isn't Ryan Garcia reach and height. He's not going to be. Well, he's still gonna have to follow Devin Haney, but it's not gonna be as difficult as it would be for a Regis who is shorter, flat-footed, slower. Ryan Garcia has faster hands also than him. So I think Ryan Garcia puts up a better fight. I would say 75-25, 75-25, or whatever. 7. Because I always, if he gets clipped, which if Ryan can clip him one time with that left,
Yeah.
you know, he can clip him with that and rock him. He may have a chance. I think Devin Haney is going to be prepared for that, just like he was, because supposedly everybody says that's his weakness is the left. You know what I mean? He gets caught by.
I think it's between 5 and 10%. I think that's his chances.
And they have familiarity too, though. The other thing I'll give Ryan is he fought him 6 times.
Hey, Gary, it's between 5 and 10.
See what I mean? It's gonna be used all the time.
Oh man, yeah. I don't see it, bro. The kid is so sharp. The kid is so defensively sound. He's so long for the division. He's so serious and dedicated to the sport. And this guy's talking shit and, like you said, the religious stuff and goofy stuff. And I don't see it, man. Unless he like clips him with something, That's why I think he'll put up a good fight, like he did with Tank for the first few rounds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for the first few rounds, he's young, he's fast, but I think he's gonna get taken into deeper water, and he's just gonna I think his technique and his heart is just gonna break down as the fight goes on. I think they're gonna get broken.
I think it's going to decision, but I do think he takes a lot of he gets schooled for most of the fight. He may win like 2 rounds. He may win like 2 rounds. At the most 3 I'm giving him, but I think 2 rounds. And he gets pretty much outboxed the whole time, gets hit with that jab. Like I see kind of like the Kambosa fight.
Yeah.
How he just kept turning Kambosa, hitting him with the jab or hitting him with the 1-2 real quick or 1 and grabbing or ducking up. He's gonna hit him and he's gonna hit him and he's gonna roll right underneath that left. Every time he throws it, he's gonna roll underneath that left and pivot out. Huh?
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't think I'm leaning towards the fight not even going the distance. Bro.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't know, man. I really like Devin Haney, man. I think he's just really good, man. I think he's really that good. I think he's gonna be.
But he doesn't put his foot on the gas to get people out of there, though. In his last fight, he could have stopped it. He could have stopped it, but he's content with just winning going to the cards.
You don't have to be Max Holloway every time, bro. You know what I mean? You don't have to be Max Holloway. I think Haney almost got Regis Prograis out of there, and Regis Prograis is a really tough guy. But I just think Haney is such a stellar boxer. Like if I were to grade him in class, he'd get an A+. I put 3 pluses next to the A, at least 2 pluses. I like his boxing that much at this point compared to Ryan Garcia. Are there people that I think are better boxers? Yeah, I think Terrence Crawford is probably the man.
Yeah, he's a better boxer.
And maybe Shakur. I'm not sure, but I definitely
Shakur. I think so too. But we'll see that. Hopefully, we'll see that sometime. But
but definitely Devin Haney to me at this point has really proved himself, and I think hurting Regis Prograis the way he did after coming up in weight is showing that as he fills in or turns into a fat ass like we did, that power is going to increase. And I think you're going to see him start stopping people. And I think Ryan Garcia is a guy who, if he's not serious about this fight, if he keeps dicking around on Instagram, bro, he's gonna find out. He's gonna find out.
Well, see, the thing I think about Devin Haney and power, even though you can gain weight and get bigger and fill out, you have to have a commitment to actually trying to knock a motherfucker out.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I was taught and I learned is like, if you're a boxer and you're the type of that sticks and moves, and as soon as you're sticking, you're moving and you're constantly moving, it's harder to get guys out of there, knock guys out, because you're not really, if you notice a lot of the hard punchers, the sluggers, they are flat-footed. The
Yeah,
ground, you really have to sit down and stand there. And when
I
you
think
do that, you take a risk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we saw him at his heaviest against Prograis, so the
Mhm.
power was probably increased. He's also getting older. He's still a young guy, man. Like, you're not as strong at 23 or whatever, like you are closer to your 30s. You might
Yeah.
lose some speed, but you got that man strength. And I
Yeah, but
think
you got to have that mentality, though. You have to have that mentality.
but here's the thing. People get dropped or knocked out with shots that they didn't see coming. And
Yeah, of course.
I think he can deliver that to an inferior boxer the way he did with Prograis, and I think he can do that with Garcia again, especially if Garcia is not plugged in, bro. If he's not plugged in for this fight, he's gonna get sparked. I think he's gonna get sparked out if he's not.
I mean, I can see him getting dropped. I actually, in my head, I'm like, I think he'll probably get dropped. I think he gets dropped. I don't think he gets knocked out.
This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the referee comes in. He either gets stopped or the referee comes in and saves him. And this is in the later rounds. I'm talking maybe between 9 and 12, maybe even 10 and 12. I think he stops him or the referee stops the fight. That's how I feel about it. But we'll see. We'll see,
I'm telling you, it's just a mentality you got to have to want to close the show. Because a lot of people got on him about Regis. Like, you could have closed the show, and like my cousin, like he was a boxer. He was like, dude, he could have stopped that guy like way back. He could stop Regis back in like round 5 or 6 if he wanted to.
Yeah, but Regis's thing is he's a dog, man, and I don't think, and he's a dangerous puncher. Like, Regis not known for his boxing acumen. He's known for being a puncher and for being a dog. And you don't want to fight another man's fight, bro. Haney is just a smart guy. That's my opinion, right? Why do you have to risk opening yourself up to get, countered when you've been washing this dude, shutting him out the entire fight? I didn't think it was necessary. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think that feeds more into fight fans, what fans want to see.
Yeah, of course.
And not always what's the smart thing to do. I do think he's opening up a little bit more than he did in like the Linares fight, back when he fought Linares and these guys.
But he opened up against Linares, and that's when he got caught.
Right. But I feel like he's doing it a little more now than he did back then, because he's good enough. I think he feels he's comfortable enough and confident enough in himself now to be able to do it more and get away with it. Because that's when you get hurt, man. That's when you get hurt.
I think, and this is, me and you had these conversations. I literally think that's what made him even more cautious the Linares fight, because he was beating Linares easily, outboxing him, outclassing him. You've seen the difference in class. And then he started in the later rounds, started to put more punches together. 3-4 punch combinations, and really trying to put on a show for people, and he got caught. Yeah. And he got caught because it was a good fight. I'm like, man, he's gonna get him out of here, and he got caught, and then he was in trouble for the next 2 rounds. And after that, I'd never seen him open up again after that.
And I think that's the way. And I think that's the way you have to beat Devin Haney. Is I think you got to put pressure on him, and I think you got to throw combinations. I think you got to throw a lot of combinations. I feel like a lot of these guys come out there and he's just confusing to deal with because he's long, he's got good footwork, and they want to throw one shot at a time. And that's not going to work against the kid. I think the kid's too sharp for that. I think you got to do
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was saying I think you got to do what Linares did, which is, he threw a combo. That was a fast combination. I think it started low. He went high or something like that. I think that's the only way you beat him, if you're Ryan Garcia. You got to throw combinations. If Ryan Garcia goes out there and tries to pot shot Devin Haney and throw one punch at a time, bro, it's going to be a long night for him, bro.
Well, see, this is the thing, though. Linares got to throw those combinations because he stopped moving as much. He started trying to sit and really put on a show himself. But in the earlier rounds, he was hitting and moving, get out of the way. Me personally, I think the way to beat him is kind of what Lomachenko kind of was doing, giving him angles, being crafty, and where he couldn't just hot shot you
That's
and
Lomachenko.
grab or pop shot you and exit out.
But that's Lomachenko. He's like the
Yeah,
only
everybody
guy.
can't do that.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
like
but
the
I'm just
only
saying,
guy.
you have to do it to where, because Devin Haney likes to throw one or two and grab you or exit out, spin out, go get out and get back the distance. He don't stay in there long. So it's hard to kind of throw a 3-4 punch combination when the guy's not staying in that pocket long. He's either in close or he's out far. He ain't staying there long. He's there and then he's back out. You know what I mean? He's not staying in that middle where you can, and when it went, and I believe it was the last punch that actually connected with him that rocked him. I think it was like a 4-punch combination when Linares did it, and it was the 4th punch that actually landed because the first 3 missed.
That's probably what it was. So, what do you? I mean, I know we both think Haney's going to win. So you think decision? That's your prediction? Is a decision win for Haney?
A decision. I think Ryan Garcia probably wins about 2 rounds, 3 at the most.
Yeah.
It'll be a blowout.
I think that's a safe bet. I'm gonna stick to I'm gonna go out on a limb. I mean, I don't know. I'm just when you just get a feeling sometimes.
I hope it's a knockout. I hope it's a knockout.
Yeah. I just got a feeling it's gonna be a late stoppage. Either the doctor's gonna walk in and just be like, "No, bro, you're not defending yourself enough," or he's just gonna get clipped. Might be to the body too. You saw Tank finish him to the body. It could be a body head type thing. I could see that happening.
Well, here's my thing is 2 questions for you. One is about Ryan Garcia. One is about Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia loses this fight. What do you think with his career at that point? Where do you think he goes?
That's interesting. He's still, I mean, there's no shame really in losing to Tank and Devin Haney. But I do think, like we discussed earlier, you start to lose that luster of being an upper echelon fighter, where you were once considered as one of the top guys. Now you kind of drop to that second tier where, you're fighting guys like Rolly and Barroso and maybe Isaac Cruz can get a fight with you, but I'm not sure that goes well for Ryan Garcia either, because Isaac Cruz is a tough guy.
It'll be good for Isaac Cruz, I think, if he goes and then knocks out Ryan Garcia. You got a Rolly Ryan Garcia. That puts your name in that status with Tank, because you fought Tank good with Tank and Devin Haney and all those guys for a big fight.
So I think Ryan still continues. He can still continue to make money, but I just don't see him, unless he really changes everything he's doing, going back up to the level that we thought he could have been had he met his potential, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
So the second part to that is, so if Devin Haney wins the fight, what do you see him doing next? What should he do next? Where do you see him going?
I don't know. I mean, I think Devin Haney can beat anybody. I don't think he should agree to. I think he should try to get a fight with Tank, but I don't think he should agree to any sort of the goofy dehydration, rehydration stuff. I do think that affected Ryan Garcia, and I don't think. Well, that's my opinion, and I don't. I only promote fighters. What do I know? And then I don't think that Devin is dumb enough, right? I think he cares more about his career than to do something like that. But I think he needs to continue to fight marquee fights and show the world that he is the best guy. Whether it's staying at that division, he's talked about going to welterweight. I think he'll do good at welterweight as well. Maybe take some easier fights at welterweight and see how far he could go there, because he is a pretty tall, long kid. So I feel like he'd probably go welterweight or whatever. So I mean, just continue the trek of greatness. I don't know who would be next, but I think he could beat anyone pretty much. Except for I don't think he beat Terrence Crawford right now, but I think he could beat pretty much anyone else, in my opinion,
I mean,
including your boy Jerome Boots, but
I don't think that. He needs to stay away from that one too. He needs to stay away from Terrence Crawford and stay away from Boots.
I think he could beat
I don't.
Boots. I do think he could beat Boots.
I don't think so. Uh, uh, um, I, I mean, I don't. If I had to bet him against Shakur Stevenson, I got Shakur. But I think
I
he
don't.
has a chance to win that fight. I mean,
I don't
that's a
think
good
so.
fight.
I don't
It
think
won't
so.
be that exciting.
I don't think so because I don't think Shakur has the experience. I think maybe raw talent. Maybe I would lean towards Shakur, but I think just the experience that Devin has at this point with the guys he's fought, I think he beats Shakur.
Mm, Shakur is a beast with it.
I
I mean,
know, I know. I'm
I
a
don't
fan.
think, I don't think that's the most exciting fight because of how both of their styles are.
Yeah,
They're both are like boxers. They are boxers. I think
yeah,
Shakur Stevenson lets his hands go a little bit, not excluding that last fight where he said he got hurt his hand and everything.
yeah.
That was a bad performance. But I've seen him in other fights. I think he lets his hand go a little bit more than Devin. I think he's IQ wise just right up there with Devin. But
Yeah. Not the experience and not the size. Not the experience and the size. That's the difference.
I still lean towards Shakur. Tank and Devin Haney, I think, is a 50-50 because I think people discount
I think Tank has a better shot than
than
against Haney.
Shakur.
But just because, again, I think the experience, I think if Shakur keeps fighting, I mean, he was talking about retirement recently. I don't know what's going on with the kid. I think he's great. I want to see him continue to fight and
Well, he
develop.
was talking about retirement because he was getting frustrated and he wants these big fights, but and he's big. He's training with Terrence Crawford, and you see what Terrence Crawford had to go through for all that time.
Yeah.
Boots is seeing what Terrence Crawford had to go through all that time. It's hard to get certain fights done, and you want to get them done, but it's like you say, that's the part of boxing you hate.
He's gonna need a Saudi intervention to make the fights that he wants because nobody wants to. That is the problem with boxing. Nobody wants to fight each other, and nobody wants to take a risk. It's a big risk, low reward to fight Shakur Stevenson, and it's unfortunate. It's not his fault that he's so damn good. He should be rewarded for being. If it were the UFC, right? If it were the UFC, he would be rewarded for being good. But because you have 25 different promoters and people think that that's the better business model, which it's not all the time, having 20 different, chefs, too many cooks spoil the broth, Gary, and that's what you have here. And the only way to make the fights now is having some guy from Saudi Arabia, who wipes his ass with $100 bills, to make the fight. You know what I mean?
Well, I was listening. I heard a clip from Bud's. I think it was his uncle that used to be a professional boxer, and he was saying everybody like because Mayweather had basically said that he wanted to see Bud fight Boots or Benavidez and stuff, and he's saying everybody's saying that, but nobody wants to put up the money. He said, and then he was talking about now that Boots is with Eddie Hearns, like he says Eddie Hearns has a connection to the Saudis. Tell them to put 25 over here to Bud and 4 for Boots, and you could probably get it happening. You know what I mean? And then
Absolutely.
But back to Devin Haney, I think he should probably stay at 140 and collect all the belts. I think he could do it. That's 2 divisions. And then by the time you do that with 2 divisions, you move up. You got used to that 140 weight. Now you move up to 147, put on a little bit more weight. You don't rush up to it. You go to 147, and then you're kind of ready for it a little bit. And then it may be cleared out. Maybe Boots goes to 154 because they're talking about trying to fight Terrence Crawford at 154. Maybe he clears out. Or if he's there, it could be a mega fight between Boots.
So I agree with you 1,000,000%, right? Because check out the champions that he would have to go through to unify 140. Are you ready for this? This is a badass list of right? And if he could do this, bro, I feel like he etches his name in history.
Yeah. It's a legacy.
Listen to this murderer's row, ignorant behavior of champions at 140 pounds, my bruv. WBO champ Teofimo Lopez Jr. That's a badass fight if it happens. But a fight both guys can win. I think Devin can win that fight for sure. I would probably Devin. IBF champ. This one is juicy. This one I think would be the toughest, maybe one of the toughest stylistic matchups for him besides Theo. Subriel Matias. Have you seen this guy, Subriel?
Yeah, I seen him. Yeah, I know they say they want to fight him, but I think Haney takes him.
But that guy is a buzzsaw. That guy doesn't stop coming, man. So Teofimo, Subriel Matias, and then Isaac Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is the other one who's tough, but I just think he's a little bit too crude. I want to say he's a little bit too crude for a guy like Haney. I mean, he could probably go in there and hurt him or whatever the way, any of the other guys can, but he's too, I feel like he's too short. His boxing skills are not good enough, I think, to be able to go, and beat Devin Haney. But Subriel Matias and definitely Teofimo Lopez, man, if he beats those guys,
I think
beats those guys.
Yeah, I think he can beat all those guys. I always said I thought he would beat Tio, but I think Tio will probably be the toughest out of everybody. Tio, because he's athletic, he has power. He's not like and he's a pretty good boxer. Yeah. I wouldn't say to the level of Devin Haney, but he's a pretty good boxer. Like when it comes to Pitbull Cruz. Like I agree with you. I think he's too short. And Devin Haney's gonna do him kind of like Regis, keep him at a distance, keep moving. It's gonna be a pain in the ass fight. I don't even think Tank wants to fight him again because it's a pain in the ass fighting a dude like that does not get deterred, does not stop coming, and just has so much energy. So I think he's a pain in the ass fight, but I don't think he can beat Devin. And then Matias, I just think that Devin's just a higher level fighter than he is. You know what I mean?
He is, but Matias is like, I feel like Matias is like Cruz, just like a little bit taller. Like that's what I feel like. He's like Cruz, maybe a little bit taller,
Yeah, but see, you have to be, and those fighters can be aggravating, pain in the asses. Yeah. But I feel like you have to be just supremely skilled boxer to beat Devin Haney. You gotta be crafty to catch him because he's not gonna he's very defensively sound. He's not gonna be easy to catch.
But maybe guys like Cruz. I mean, we haven't really seen him in there with a guy like Cruz or Matias. Maybe those kind of guys can give him. I mean, they're like Maidanas. You know what I mean? They're like Marcos Maidanas.
Yeah. Maidana was a little bit awkward though. That's where he gave people problems too, because he was kind of awkward.
Well, these guys are pretty awkward. I think Teofimo Lopez probably would be a
good fight. Yeah,
that would be a great fight too.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you go 2 division, you're now a 2 division. What's it called?
Undisputed.
You get the belts. Yeah, undisputed. Two division undisputed. Then you can go up to 147, and I think pretty much everybody cleared out of 147, all the big names, and obviously more people are going to resurface.
Bro. It's Crawford.
Yeah, I'm saying Ennis. Yeah.
And then you have
Mario Barrios has a Stanionis.
Yeah.
You have but I think he can beat those guys though. I think he can beat those guys. So he can come up to 147 and beat those guys. Stanionis, you have what's his name? What's his name who took the steroids?
Mario Barrios. Oh no.
Yeah, Mario Barrios, Stanionis. You have Mario has a belt, but Stanionis doesn't.
Well, Stanionis is the I'm seeing online is the WBA regular welterweight champion. So they got a couple. Crawford is the WBA champ, and Stanionis is the regular champ. So that's like the old school WWF Intercontinental Championship that Ultimate Warrior had.
Damn, you remember he called the Ultimate Warrior.
But if I'm Haney, after beating Garcia, he can fight Barroso for the WBA interim junior welterweight if he wants, or he could just go straight to Isaac Cruz. And then after he fights him, Matias and then Teofimo Lopez. That would be sick, bro.
I think if I was him, I would go with Cruz next
Yeah.
because out of the three, he's probably gonna be, and none of them are easy fights.
No.
You know, none of them are easy fights. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But he's probably because of his height and Haney's foot speed and hand speed with the jab and everything. It's probably and he just came off of knocking out Rolly, so now his name is buzzing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that could sell some tickets, man.
It's good timing. Yeah, it's good timing.
Yeah.
Good timing.
So,
Well, Gary.
it's a long one today.
Well, Gary, over an hour and 5 minutes. Knuckleheads, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the channel. Please leave your comments below. Tell us what you think of these fights. Haney versus Garcia. Who do you have winning, and what did you think of that UFC 300 card? That was absolutely crazy. Also, don't forget to catch Fightersrep 23 and 24, which we're going to have to preview in the probably sometime this week or next week, Gary. Absolutely crazy card. So, we'll preview that sometime this week or next week. Also, get your Fightersrep merch in the link below. Join the channel and show some love and appreciation to me and the ignorant one. We're out. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Appreciate you, Gary.
Yeah.